Today I will be presenting how to use PGP for Windows. So PGP, or Pretty Good Privacy, is an encryption program that will provide cryptographic privacy and authentication for data communication. Types of data communication can include text, files, emails, directories, and disk partitions. The main steps that I used was first to download PGP, run Kleopatra to create the key pair, and test it out by encrypting and decrypting data. So for this presentation, you'll see on the right that I've provided screenshots of what it looked like as I was doing this process. So before you download, remember to check the integrity of the website, and you can do so by checking the certificate. Once you begin the download, it will ask you to choose a language, and then you can choose the installation components. So you have Kleopatra, GPA, GPGOL, GPGEX. So for today, I mostly use Kleopatra. That encrypts, decrypts, and it can sign and verify. GPA is another GUI that you could use. I did not download it, and then I just had the optional download of the Outlook and Shell extension. After you install it, you want to go ahead and open Kleopatra. Once Kleopatra is open, you can create your new key pair by either clicking the button shown on the right or going into File, Create New Key Pair. Once you choose to create a new key pair, you will be asked to enter your name and email. Next, you want to check the advanced settings to make sure they are set the way you'd like. Here in the advanced settings, you can choose your type of encryption. I chose to stay with RSA, but I did choose to move up to the highest bit of 4096. You will also have the option to turn on or off signing in your valid until date. Then you will be asked to create a passphrase that will be used along with your private key, as you will see later. Once the key is created, you can choose to back it up. If not, it will be saved to Kleopatra. If you would like to export your public key, all you will need to do is right-click and select Export and save to wherever you would like as the preset option that is Open PGP certificate. If you'd like to view your public key, you can right-click on where you saved the export, and for me, I saved it on my desktop, and you can open with any type of text reader file. I used Notepad, and as you can see on the right, this is what my RSA public key looked like. To export the private key, the process is very similar, except this time you will right-click and select Export Secret Keys. You will save it to wherever you'd like again with the preset option. This time, however, you will be prompted to enter the password that you created at the start, and you must enter the correct password before you can export the private key. If you want to import a public key, this is something good to know if someone sends you their public key. You will save the text file and import the file to Kleopatra by clicking on File, Import, and on the bottom right hand corner you would want to change from certificates to any files. Once you change it to any files, you'll see all the files on your computer, including the text file. Once this is done, you'll see that a new tab called Imported Certificates will show up at Kleopatra, and you can see all of the steps on the right. To see if Kleopatra is working and your public and private key works, you can encrypt and decrypt data. So for the data, I chose to use Notepad and made a simple sentence: will the encryption and decryption work? Once this data is written out, I just Control-C copied and went to my taskbar, right-clicked on Kleopatra, selected Clipboard and Encrypt, as you can see on the right. After doing this, two windows will pop up. The certificate selection window is just asking what public key you want to use. So if you have multiple public keys, you can choose the correct one here. Once you've done this, you should see the next window pop up, certificate selection. And here you can select a certain certificate with the drop down, and you can also import a key if you have not imported the key yet. When you click next, you'll see a screen pop up that says encryption succeeded. When this happens, the encryption will automatically be copied to your clipboard. Now see the encryption on the right, and since this was sent to me, I can then decrypt it with my private key. Remember that this encrypted data you would want to send to the owner of the public key. Then to decrypt the data to see if my private key works, it's this very similar process again. You're going to copy the data or encryption to the clipboard, and then you're going to go to your taskbar and right click on Kleopatra, and you're going to select clipboard and then decrypt verify. You will then have to enter your passphrase that was associated with the private key that you made at the beginning. And when this is done, a screen will pop up and it will say decryption succeeded. This will then copy the decryption to your keyboard. So as you can see on the right, the encryption and decryption worked because now I can read the plain text again. And that's how you know it was successful. So this is how you can use PGP for Windows with Kleopatra.